Plaintiff Bonnie Loy says the defendant is her daughter, and Bonnie first discovered that the defendant was using drugs at age 11. Bonnie claims she had custody of the defendant's daughter for 11 years due to the defendant's destructive behavior, and she's suing her daughter today for emotional distress and defamation of character. Defendant Crystal Loy admits she was in the streets, but insists it was because her mother had her turning tricks at a young age to help pay her bills. Crystal claims she regained custody of her daughter a year and a half ago, and in the past year alone, her mother's called Child Protective Services on her 23 times. Crystal's countersuing for harassment.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Yes, sir. I'd like to introduce my daughter Angela here.
Right.
And she's 17 years old. We're here today seeking some type of justice that I've been unable to find in reference to my grandchildren. And lately, as the last 3 weeks, there was a meth lab that was busted at my daughter's house where the grandchildren reside. And the children continue.
At this daughter's?
Crystal,
No.
excuse me.
No, Your Honor, I was the one who reported the meth lab. It was not at my house. It was
Your Honor,
outside of my house. And I would notify the police that it was there for the safety of the children.
All right. You say you have proof that it was at her address?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right.
It was outside of my house. One of my friends had came in, and I seen something that looked suspect, so I went outside to see what they was doing. I seen what they was doing, and I notified the police.
What were they doing?
They had like anhydrous and that type of stuff, things that you use for meth. And I was like, no, I automatically got on the phone.
These people live with you?
One of them was staying with me because...
Do you have the police report that says that you called?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
And they were on your property?
Yes.
And one of them did stay with you?
Yes.
Very good. Go ahead.
If I may give you a little bit of background, I began having problems with Crystal at the age of 11 whenever I found a hypodermic needle in her room.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Crystal. Yes.
Your Honor, that's a lie. And any drugs that I did came from her.
Crystal meth, huh? All right, go ahead. You've had problems with Crystal for how long?
At the age of 11, I found a hypodermic needle in her room.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
And I tried several different things. I tried enrolling her in therapy. I tried inpatient treatment.
None of that worked?
Until the point that I refused to go home when I was 15.
1 second, ma'am. None of that worked?
No, sir. They said I had professionals that had been in the helping fields for many years tell me that there was no amount of assistance that was going to help her until we could master her manipulation. She was a master of manipulation.
Gotcha.
They said they'd never seen anyone that was so good at it. However, I feel like now a lot of the situation is the fact that she is trying to self-medicate.
So she uses crystal meth, in your opinion?
I believe she uses a lot of
right.
different drugs, sir.
And when is the last time as a child you had problems with her? What age?
Whenever she reached the age of 16, Angela became the new addition to the family. Before that time, Crystal had been the only child. And I think there was a lot of adjustment there. Your Honor, I'd like to say at this point, I have no vengeance in my heart for you, Crystal. I love you, but it came to a point where I will not and I cannot continue to enable
Ma'am,
the
talk to me.
past.
Tell me what
sorry.
happened to cause this lawsuit for defamation and emotional distress.
There was a custody dispute. I filed for child support, and I have evidence of that here. Child support from her because she had abandoned Leanna.
See, that's what I need to know. I need the background on what you're suing her for.
Okay, Leanna was born on January 7th, 1997. Before the child's first birthday or her first Christmas, DCFS came knocking at my door.
That's a lie.
Be quiet, ma'am.
If I knew who Leanna Loy was. And I said, well, yes, she's my granddaughter.
Did they remove the child from the mother? Did they give her?
No, the mother had abandoned the child with somebody else. And she didn't come back.
You obtained custody?
So, yes, sir, I did. And for 11 years, I raised this child that nobody seemed to care whether she lived or whether she died or what it took to get her through.
And where was she?
I don't know. Sometimes she was there. She'd go for as long as 3 years. We'd never see her hear anything
For
from her.
3 years?
No.
As long as 3 years, you get...
No.
That's a lot of smoking.
No.
Let me hear from you, ma'am.
Your Honor, in '97, I left the child with her father. My mother went and took the child and would not let me see the child. In the process, yes, I was in the streets doing wrong. I went to jail, and I unknowingly signed away my parental rights, thinking that I was signing away temporary custody long enough for me to get help.
When did you unknowingly? What year?
That was in
Ma'am,
that was
be
in
quiet and let
98.
me finish my question. Now, you applied for custody when?
2007, my daughter came to me and was like, she cannot take it at my mother's house anymore. I hired a lawyer. We went straight to court. The first time we went to court, I got custody of my child back, and it's been that way for the last year and a half. Now, until the point of 2005, I was helping supply school supplies, school clothes, and see, through these 7 years, my mother kept telling me she was going to give me my daughter back, and she never would.
You admitted you were in the streets all those years. I wouldn't
Your
give you
Honor,
the
I
child
was
back
in the streets,
either.
but I had 8 years clean.
All right, so what's the lawsuit about?
Your Honor, I am a nationally accredited social worker.
No, you're not.
I've got my...
That's why you got a DUI.
One more time you interrupt, I'm going to grant a judgment and throw you into rehab. Go ahead.
I'm a nationally accredited social worker, and I've been a state certified teacher. Whenever we got into court that day, I found out then that I had an indicated report from DCFS that I was never notified. And I have had that completely expunged from my record by an administrative law judge and the director of DCFS, if I may submit it, sir.
Okay.
And the only thing in that ruling that the administrative law judge says is there was a period of, I think, approximately a week.
I'm looking at some of these papers you've submitted, and one stands out. You were found with cocaine in your system?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, sir. The drug test was not mine. I've got a copy of the drug
It
test.
says your name.
It was not my urine. It was the one sample where the woman did not, she used gloves. There was another urine sample sitting out. And I'll take one today.
Your Honor.
And I don't care whether it's urine, hair, blood, whatever. I have had
What do
the
you want to tell me,
assessment.
ma'am?
In 2006, whenever that time came for that urine drop, DCFS came to find me, and that's whenever they suggested to me that I get my daughter away from her.
This baby going from one dope fiend to the other, back and forth. Go ahead, ma'am.
But, Your Honor, this is how my life has been, my whole life. At 13 years old, I started using drugs that came from her bedroom. And it went on. I mean, till the point that whenever I was 15 years old, I chose not to be in that household environment again. And by the time I was 17, 18 years old, yes, I was in the streets. I was doing drugs. I was not living right. Whenever I turned 21, whenever I had that daughter of mine, yes, I tried to do right. But no, because of her constantly putting me down and bashing me down and getting me to do things that I shouldn't be doing, having me steal things for my sister and having me steal things for her, having me go turn tricks to pay bills for her.
No.
Whenever
See,
I was pregnant with my second child, to the point that I was kidnapped and I had a tearing line in my brain, facial fractures,
From prostitution?
skull fractures. Yes, that you told me I could not
I did
come home
not.
and tell. I had your $1,200 to pay your bills.
You're crazy.
The problem you have today with credibility, ma'am, is you started out with a lie. I certainly don't believe that you didn't know those people were cooking up crystal meth,
Your Honor.
because as you admit right now, you've had drug problems all these years. So now that you've told me where all these problems have come from, I believe it, because your mother was found to have cocaine in her system and all this. Go ahead. What else you want me
Your
to
Honor,
know?
here's several different drug screen
Let me see
things
it.
for the past few months while we've been going through this custody battle. And I also have papers here from DCFS where she's constantly harassing me with these unfounded cases. In the last year, she has called DCFS 23 times. 2 weeks ago, she called DCFS 3 times in 12 hours. She gets people involved that don't even have
DCFS
anything
is
to
an
do with
anonymous
anything.
hotline.
But they know your voice.
But they know my voice, and you're telling me that they told you?
They know you.
Yeah, I work for DCFS.
She calls so much.
Yes.
She calls on you so
Yes,
much.
and
they
it's
know
so
her
bad,
voice.
Your Honor, she had to go 3 levels up in DCFS to try to get somebody to listen to her, and now they have to fine-tooth my investigations because she's causing such a problem in the DCFS organization.
Your Honor, I do have a copy of that somewhere in all this evidence. I do have a copy of that drug test where it does have the wrong name on it.
Let's see it.
If you'll bear with me and give me just a minute to find
All right.
it. Angela, would you step up here, please?
Come on, look
She
for
has
that
to live in
document
that
while she
household.
speaks to me. Come on, stand up. State your name.
Angela McComas.
What do you want to tell me today?
This apparently has gone on since way before I was even born,
Yep.
and I'm only 17, but I've always lived with my mother, and the entire time that I've lived with her, I've never known her to do drugs. I've never seen any around, and you would think that in 17 years that I would see her.
Ma'am, keep
know
looking for that form. The counterclaim 2,500 is for the harassment you were telling me about?
Yes, sir. I mean, for the last year and a half. I mean, that's all I get. I mean, she even calls the police, and the police have to come down and be like, Crystal, your mom just called. She said you and your daughter was fighting. We need to come check on you guys, make sure everything's okay. I mean, it's ridiculous.
My grandchildren living with a registered sex offender is my business.
He doesn't live in the home. And how many times
I've
have you
got
reported that
affidavits
with
that prove
12?
otherwise. I've got
12
affidavits
cases
prove
that
everything.
prove unfounded that is not true.
Ma'am, please find the statement that exonerates you and says that the positive test was from someone else's urine. You said you have such a statement.
The positive drug test was an error. It had not been properly sealed and initially had a different name written on the report.
That's it.
That's
Circle
what I
that.
showed.
Circle that. Right here.
Yes, sir.
Applicant testified that the positive drug test was erroneous. It had not been properly sealed and initially had a different name written on it. I'll take this into consideration, ma'am, but they're saying what you told them. I can't say this woman defamed you by saying you were a drug user and you didn't deserve custody, and I have a piece of paper that says they concluded it was.
I've worked for the administrative courts of Illinois, and I have proof of that as well.
But she got fired because she wasn't doing her job right.
You don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I remember all that because I was there all them years that you try to say that I wasn't
Why don't
there.
you speak up like this for your grandchildren whenever somebody else is
My
abusing
children?
them?
What do you think I'm doing? What do you think I've been fighting the last 6 months for?
Anyway.
And I'm quite tired of dealing with you, period.
Also, Your Honor, I do have...
Ma'am, this wasn't their conclusion. They were repeating what you told them.
Your Honor,
your case is dismissed. She hasn't defamed you. Your case is dismissed for harassment. You all have done nothing but hurt each other and harass each other and go after each other, and I don't know how to help you. I'm not a social worker.
I was trying to show you
Have
the
a good
things-
day. Well, you're trying to show me what, ma'am? Hold on. You're trying to show me what?
I was trying to show you things that a judge has never seen before.
No, evidence that you were exonerated. Independent evidence, not what you told the court. Evidence that says it was a false positive. I see nothing that says that. All I see is your correspondence with them, giving your side of the story. I don't see any independent evidence. Claim is dismissed. Have a good day, both of you.
I'd like to tell Aunt Leanna that I love her very much, and I'd like to have a hug.
You want to say anything to your grandma?
I love you, Grandma.
I love you too, baby.
I'm so sorry.
It's sad. She causes all this problem. She causes this problem, but she has just as big a drug problem as anybody in the world. Right there is the evidence, you know? And every day I gotta live this. Every day I got DCFS or the police at my house because of her false accusations.